So Bex, I feel like I might have just spoilt the surprise there that you're up first. I can honestly say, Bex, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on this journey. You have approached everything with real kind of passion, diligence, and commitment. When you first came and we were talking about kind of expert by experience, and you looked at me as if I was a little bit crackers. And it's wonderful because only a few days ago, you dropped me a message that really showed that you believe that about yourself now. You have faith in your experience, and you've made some amazing connections and collaborations. Your course, Murder in Slow Motion, Identifying and responding effectively to stalking, there's one part of that that hugely stuck with me, and that was about the fact that actually stalking is our opportunity to intervene. Do you know, that in itself, and the way that you showed that, and the way that you connected all of the different elements of the methodology through your training course, really honestly made me really proud and made me thrilled that you'd come on this course. So I have absolute no concerns whatsoever. I'm so excited to award you the Training for Influence accreditation, and to say a huge congratulations to you. Now I'm going to go over to you, Bex, and give you a few moments to reflect, share your feelings, say anything you'd like to say.
Thank you, Tammy. I don't know if you can, it's not, I'm trying to hold it up to the screen, but it's not really working. It's not working.
That's brilliant.
Oh, I tried. Okay, thank you so much. So when I joined Training for Influence 12 weeks ago, I hoped that I would have an opportunity to deepen my knowledge and understanding around how to translate the knowledge and the passion that I had on my chosen subject, which is stalking awareness, into a piece of training that would really engage my delegates. I hoped that I would learn how to be an effective facilitator and to be able to connect with like-minded people. What I was not expecting was the emotional journey that I've been on. I was not expecting to discover, somewhat ironically, that I myself was experiencing stalking. And thanks to the support that I had, I was able to weave this part of my own story into my training in the hope that it will empower people to really understand this behaviour better. Neither was I expecting to have to face some of my deepest fears, the self-limiting beliefs that have held me back for much of my life. I just want to say that I'm so grateful to Tammy, to Alan, Becky, and my support group, as well as my partner, my family, my friends, and the amazing community in Tay who've supported me through this. It's been an absolute honour and a privilege to be on this journey with all of you. And if it's okay, I'd really like to just end by sharing this poem, because it says so much better than I could say, and it really encapsulates for me the last 12 weeks. So it's probably a poem that you're familiar with, but thank you, everyone. So it's called Our Deepest Fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Oh, Bex, do you know, can I just say that usually I get to like at least a few people in before I start crying. Thank you so much for being so open and sharing your journey. And that poem just connects with everything that we've been talking about over the last few months, and where you're at. And I'm really excited to see your light shine now. Really, really excited. So huge congratulations. This isn't goodbye. Okay, so moving on to the next person. It is also my great pleasure to talk about Gemma. Gemma, you've been on this journey for the last 12 weeks as well, and you have absolutely smashed it. From somebody who started this program saying, but I've never delivered to adults, and not recognizing that actually for the last 20 years, all of your training with young people have absolutely put you in the perfect position to be able to share your expertise, your learning as you've gone through that journey, and your ability to deliver and inspire and engage. It's been brilliant watching those pennies drop and your confidence just absolutely grow as you've gone through this process. You developed a training course that was really passionate, was really full of kind of expert knowledge, and was really connected to what you want to do next, what you believe in, and what you see as important. You've been a brilliant part of the community, supported your peers, and I'm really excited about the fact that as you move into a new stage in your life, I'm hoping that the community and your journey has really helped you see that you have got the whole world at your feet now, and we will help you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. I thank you for throwing yourself into the program and for really kind of connecting to each of the modules and then developing something that you delivered so expertly. So it is absolutely a great pleasure to award you the Training for Influence qualification.
Thank you, Tammy. I'll try and hold up my certificate, but not sure if it's, oh no, it's not working, is it? There we go.
Just ditch the
just goes into.
You've all got one in your hand. I didn't want you to have, yeah, on the screen. So.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tammy. I mean, how do you follow Becky's, first of all, Becky's speech? Haven't got a poem. So when I was thinking about what to say, I was thinking about when I first joined and my first ever meeting with everybody. I was really nervous, and I don't normally get nervous about things like that, but I don't know why I was so nervous. And then when we were getting into it, I couldn't see how I was an expert in the area. And I know, Tammy, you just mentioned that. I couldn't see it. And I think that was because I'd never had the time to reflect on what I do each day. Because when you're busy and every day, you just don't have that time to sit back and think, oh, well, actually, I know quite a lot about that area. And when I came away from my first session, I was so inspired by everyone that I met in that first session. And I listened to everybody's stories, where they worked, what they did as a job. And I just couldn't believe I was in this session with all these amazing people. And so I felt a little bit intimidated to begin with. But every single person in the session made me feel positive, and they also shared the same values as me, all wanting to help improve the lives of other people in the sector that they work in. And I came away from that first session energized and excited, but also, like I said before, slightly intimidated by the knowledge and expertise that was in the room. And as we worked through the modules, all the methodology just fell into place for me, and it completely made sense. As I was going through it, I thought, why have I not been in training sessions that's had this methodology before? It would have absolutely transformed other training that I've been involved in the past. And I suppose the bit that made me reflect personally was the values section. I mentioned in my assignment, actually, that I've always wanted to work with people and make a difference to other people, like everybody else who is part of this. But I've never actually sat down and really unpicked what my values are. And so that was absolutely fascinating for me, and I really enjoyed that part of the process. I have had my own ups and downs throughout the course, illness in the family, illness with me as well. And so I have had some difficulty attending some sessions, but with the support of Tammy, Becky, Alan, and the Train Influence community, I felt really supported, and I felt encouraged all the way through. So it helped me just continue with it and enjoy every single moment, even when I was doing it little bits on my own. I'm really grateful to be a part of the Train Influence, and I would really like to thank everyone that I've met along the way, and I look forward to hearing about all of your success stories as well, and the delivery of your courses through Mighty Networks and so on, and being able to share my experiences too. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Gemma. This is the part where everybody's like, am I next? Am I next? And Gemma and Bex are going, okay, so next up we have the wonderful Gillian. So Gillian, it is absolutely fantastic to have you here. You have been such a support to everybody on as you've gone through this program. Do you know, naturally you are a person who puts it out there and helps people, and you know, and makes people feel like they can come to you to ask for that support. You've come to, I think, all of the assessments, or at least 95% of other people's assessments, and I hope that you've gained from that the CPD, but also the fact that it really shines through with your personality, how much you're there willing other people on. The methodology has matched you, your skills and your personality perfectly. Do you know, right at the beginning, I remember kind of that kind of struggle of confidence around your operational expertise, and actually recognizing yourself, a little bit like Gemma just said, you know, recognizing what's special about you, what's different about you, what you can bring to everybody and everything. And it's been wonderful to see as you've kind of progressed all the way through the course, and then to kind of see it really shown during your training course and in your assignment, that actually you have some of that belief now, that self-belief. And I think, going back to what Beck said, you know, your light is going to shine out there because you're so willing to share it. And you're, you know, from a delegate perspective, you know, the feedback that came back was all about how knowledgeable you were, how inspiring you were, how engaging you were, but also, really importantly, how you made everybody there feel like you were specifically there for them, you know, and really engaged everybody personally and have that real responsive delivery style. So I'm really thrilled. I've loved watching your journey. And I really hope that you stay with us, that you continue to support others, but also you let us continue to support you as well, because you've been an absolute pleasure. So it is, without any doubt whatsoever, it is my real pleasure to award you the Training for Influence qualification.
Thank you, Tammy. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody, especially the support group. I feel towards the end we really kind of pulled it in for each other there at the last minute, and it was really useful and really helpful. And like you said, when I first started, I probably did struggle with that operational expert part of it, because I often thought of that operational expert as being what I do at work. However, kind of what I realise is that we have so much more to give, so many more experiences, and I have been practicing this in my everyday work, so I do training 3 times a week, and I've got some really excellent feedback about my confidence and how it's been shown. So that's really helpful in my day-to-day kind of work. Also, kind of massive thank you to Alan and Becky, who online wise they've helped to hone my skills in a little bit better, and make it a lot easier as well for me when I'm delivering courses, and it seemed a little bit more effortlessly. Don't get me wrong, we still all get them bits where it goes wrong, but it just makes you feel a little bit more at ease, and just the feedback is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, thank you very much, Tammy, and everybody else.
Oh, Penny, what is it that you're shaking there?
Got some bells, like.
Oh my gosh, I'm so going to make that a thing for the next graduation. Everybody bring along a noisemaker. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah,
hang on a minute. This is becoming a challenge now. Have you got drums, a guitar?
I've got this as well.
That was easy.
Okay, fantastic. Brilliant. Okay, let's see who's up next. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the wonderful Mike Wrigglesworth. So this is a guy that I've known for a while now, and he's been delivering training for Tay probably for nearly a couple of years. I'll take a bit of a guess there. Mike was actually one of the people on the first ever Training for Influence, Train the Trainer course. So going back a few years now, he was one of the people when this was just an idea. We'd taken the methodology from Tay, and we'd gone through kind of the evaluation, and we'd gone, how can we make sure that this can be shared with more people? And Mike was one of the people that kind of put his hand up and came along to a completely different version of the Training for Influence course than this, but with the same kind of, with the same methodology, but without the blended learning elements, without the support group elements, without kind of the structure, the assignment, the assessment. He was there kind of when we were working out how we can develop a full Train the Trainer course and then move that into a qualification. So I do feel like I know Mike pretty well, and certainly the training that he delivers for Tay meets all of those standards. Mike, you are very values-led in your delivery, and what I think is really interesting is that right at the beginning, when I first started to get to know you, there was this kind of real incongruence around actually the work that you've been doing as a prosecutor, and then working within the sector for Tay, through looking at with criminal justice agencies in particular, actually supporting them to be the best they could be. And you said, well, how are delegates going to get their head around that? But actually how they've got their head around that is because you've got your head around that. And even in your prosecution, as we've talked about time and time again, you were always aiming to do the very best for the people who have been harmed, and that's where your values come from, and that's what absolutely spills out into your training. When you did your assessment and you did your preparing for court assessment, I came along to that and learned so much in a really short amount of time, because you recognised the people in the room needed to know those elements to be able to relieve their own fears if they are preparing to go in for court cases. You're engaging in your style. It's very natural now. Certainly, I know a couple of years ago, that's something that you really worked on, particularly from an online perspective. But I really think you've got it nailed now. You are an expert, and we've shown you that you're an expert in far more than what connected to your professional life previously. You can tailor with the best of them. Do you know, look at some of the work you're doing for us with the Catholic Church. You are engaging in interactive, and I think you're so solidly connected to your values now. We're so thrilled to have you as part of Tay. So it's brilliant. I'm really pleased to be able to formally, now that it is a full qualification to be able to award this to you and say thank you so much for your time, your commitment and your effort as we've gone through this course.
Thanks, Tammy. Yeah, thank you for my, if you hold it, no, not quite. Just thank you for my blank piece of paper. I thought I had it. There, look. Yeah. Ooh, there we go. No, thanks a lot, Tommy. Yeah, a lot of things. It's been a longer journey for me than everybody else here. So I did feel a bit under pressure because I thought, well, I'm doing the facilitating now, and what if I stuck on the course? So I did think that. But it's been really great to meet new people. It's always great to meet new people. And I think a really important thing I want to say, it really goes back to those 2 years ago when I think I spotted an Indeed, the Indeed sort of thing that came on my email. And, so often I spend so much time deleting stuff, Bitcoins and goodness knows what else. And I looked at this and I thought, Tay training. And I think the thing was, it said based in Leeds. So I thought, I live in Leeds. So I sort of got in touch and you had a thing that was going to be on, see if you'd like to come along in York. And I think I was on holiday, I couldn't come. Anyway, COVID came along anyway, so it didn't matter. And then I got swept into all this online stuff. And it's been really important to me over the past 2+ years with Tay, because I came from a very low point with finishing work full time. My confidence had been knocked completely for 6. And I was struggling with that, and sometimes still do. But I can honestly say that through Tay, through this course and before, has really rebuilt that confidence back up again. So I owe you and everybody else an awful lot. Becky, who's been along for the journey and watched me in the early days, sort of co-presenting and all that sort of stuff. I owe you an awful lot for that. So it's been really good. The course has been great. So I came to it back to front, as I say, and I put on my assignment. It was like a pit stop. So I've been whizzing around doing it all for 2 years, and you come into the course, and every Thursday, just a bit of time to think about it and reflect, and go back to the book and go back through all the methodology, and make changes and just think about what I've been doing and how I can adapt it and make it better. So yeah, still in it for the journey.
I should unmute if I'm clapping, shouldn't I? Oh, brilliant. Well, do you know what, Mike? I take that as a real endorsement, because if after 2 years you're still here and you're not wanting to go anywhere, and going through the programme has continued to inspire you rather than put you off, do you know what? I'm taking that as a win, a complete and utter win.
Yeah, Alan almost put me off, but I kept going.
Well, do you know, I wonder about that. No, I'm only kidding. And it's lovely to hear as people are reflecting on kind of other people in the community, because actually, Mike, your journey is a little bit like Alan's that he was saying, that's a little bit like Bex, what she's saying, do you know, which is a little bit like Becky, what she's saying. And, do you know, and it's really nice because that's exactly what we're trying to build within the community, is people like who have connected values but different expertise, because between us all then we're absolute powerhouses for the service users, you know, because we can reach out and find what we need from somebody else that's willing to kind of share, support and learn in that way. So yeah, don't be going anywhere, Mike. We're not letting you run off into the night anytime soon. So I'm going to pause for a moment because I would like to go over to Becky. And Becky, I'd like to just give you the floor for a moment. And I'd like to give you the floor, first of all, by just saying a huge thank you. Do you know, you put your heart and soul into mentoring on this programme. Every time, do you know, people say to us all of the time, why don't you just run this continuously? And really honestly, we can't, because Alan, myself and Becky, journey, give a lot mentally to it and give a lot, you know, we really care about the journey that you're all on, and we really want the best of you. And actually we can't do that continuously because we need a bit of brain space and there's other things to do and stuff like that. But I hope you've kind of I hope you guys have all seen, particularly from Becky and Alan, you know, they've been through this journey, and so therefore they try and provide for you what you individually need. And I want to pause here because every one of you has talked about your support group and each other here, but every one of you has also talked about kind of the mentors and the support that you've got from them. So Becky, I just want to take a moment to say a huge thank you from me. I would also like to take a moment for everybody to give you a round of applause and then give you a couple of minutes for your reflections.
Put me on the spot. I'm used to being like near the end after everyone.
Yeah, I'd shake it up a little bit for you.
No, it has, as always, every time, like Tammy says, like I've been on this journey and I've been mentoring for a while now, and each time I absolutely love it, clearly because I come back, and I love it because I always learn so much as well, and especially from all of you guys, not just from like coming on your courses and assessing you and being a delegate, but just from your journeys. And yeah, I learn how to hone my skills in a little bit more each time as well. And I just really enjoy getting to know you guys and getting to know your journeys, and you know, things as well to help me out. I know that me and Bex are going to look to do some stuff together. I might even actually physically be seeing Penny next week because I'm in London. So all of those kind of things, and it's lovely to make those connections. And like Tammy said, this isn't the end, it is the start. You're not going to get rid of me. I'm going to be pestering you for everything, and I'm always there on Mighty Networks to help out as well. And I just want to say thank you to all of you guys, because it's you guys that make it enjoyable for me to want to keep coming back and being part of this, and to keep doing these roles and keep sharing my skills and learning from all of you as well. So thank you so much. But yes, I do need some brain space, and I'm so looking forward to a little bit of a break.
Fantastic. Thank you very much as always, Becky. Let's see if Alan has any signal to say a few words. So Alan, we are just as grateful to you as we are to Becky. Both of you are mentors on this because, like me, you absolutely fundamentally believe in it. And when we get to this point at graduation, and when you've seen people's confidence grow, and then them delivering training to frontline professionals who are then going to transform the way that they deliver services, I know, like me, it just fills you up. You know, you can see that's the difference that we're trying to make. You know, that kind of ripple effect. Alan, you were invited to be a mentor. This is your second time of being a mentor after going through the journey yourself, and us really seeing kind of the transformation it made for your training. But I think it's so important at every point that we stop and recognise the difference you've made to these guys' journey, you know, and how you've supported them and helped them to grow as well. So I want to say a thank you to you. I'm going to pause so we can give you a round of applause, and then we're going to attempt to see whether you can share or not.
Hopefully you can hear me. What am I doing in Luxembourg? This puts me totally out of my comfort zone because I do not like being on my own. So I've ridden a motorcycle over here. I'm staying on my own apart from one day. And when I looked at it today, I went up into the mountains today, and it was raining. I just sat there, and then the clouds parted and the sun came down. I could see an amazing part of the world. And I kind of thought that it was quite poignant for today, because all of you who I've got to know have gone out of your comfort zone. Thank you so much for those who've bared their souls and told me their issues and their worries, and hopefully I've managed to help. But when I looked around today, I realised that this world is quite an amazing, wonderful place. And I can honestly say that all the courses I've either helped or I've listened to or I've assessed, you all will go on to make the world an even better place. And you can't get any better than that. So please, guys, feel really proud today. Never, ever forget about the methodology, because I promise you it works. And so it's just a massive thank you, obviously, to Tammy, Becky, who's just amazing on IT, and the stuff she does is wonderful. But I'm really proud to be able to be part of your journey. But this is only, as Becky said, it's only the start of this. I'm really pleased to see some of you will carry on and work for Tay, because that puts Tay into a better position than it was a day before. So many thanks to you guys. The world is tough out there, but you guys are going to make it less tough. So tonight, give yourselves a pat on the back. I'm going to go and have a glass of very strong Belgian beer in a while, but I'm going to raise it to you, and more importantly, to all the people who really need your help in the future, and for all those people who you're fighting for, because without people like you in this room, it's tough, and some people don't make it, but you will help those people make it through. So thank you so much. You've made it very easy, and I really appreciate every single one of you, and good luck to you.
So I can be really honest there and say that that was me being really calm, as I had technical difficulties and everything broke and I couldn't access the presentation. So straight over to Becky and Alan to kind of interject and use my time up there.
I knew it.
Say again.
I knew that was why.
So usually I wouldn't say anything, but since I've said to you guys time and time again, it goes wrong for me all the time. It's like, right, okay. Practice what you preach. So yeah, brilliant. So let's go back. I'm going to talk for a moment about Mark. Mark can't be here tonight. He's not feeling very well, but I did want to still take the moment, because he's going to be watching this video, to pause and talk a little bit about his journey. So Mark, it has been absolutely fantastic to have you on the course. I know that when you first started with us, a little bit like Gemma said, you were kind of a bit like, oh, hang on a minute, but I'm from education. And it's not until you really start kind of understanding the methodology, you see how actually everything interconnects. It's about people who are working with people, and it's about people caring about the training that they're delivering and recognizing the difference that it can make if it's delivered in a certain way. You were already delivering things about kind of being trauma aware and about working with people with SEND. You were already sharing your kind of education journey, but a little bit like other people have said, you were always falling back on that kind of professional journey. One of the reflections that you've really shared, you shared in your takeaways and in your assignment, is the fact that it's really made you recognize kind of all of the different facets to your expertise, and how your personal journey and your personal experience is used at the right time and laced within the elements of your training really increase the power. So it's been so nice to see you kind of go on that journey. I have no doubt that the impact that your training will have within education and beyond, because again, like other people have said, your skills cross over to leadership, to motivation, to difficult conversations. Do you know, all of that stuff is there, and I'm so pleased that you threw yourself into the program, and that you held on and kind of recognized how it all connects together to give you that framework at the end for developing and then delivering your training. So it really is my absolute pleasure to award you the Training for Influence qualification. I hope that you've opened your magic box and you have your certificate in your hand, and I hope you feel better very soon. Fantastic. So unless anybody wants to stand in for Mark and give his speech, I will quickly sneak on to the next person. Fantastic. So, gosh, what can I say about you, Safia? Safia, I've got to know you over these last 12 weeks, and it really is an absolute pleasure. And I'm so thrilled that you've come on this journey and that you're going to be part of Tay as well in the future. You developed a course called Inclusive Workplaces, and you developed that because it lines up with some work that you're developing for Tay for the Welsh Government. So that's all well and good, but you didn't just do that at all. Do you know, from the moment that course started, everything screamed values. It really, really did. And as you went through your course, you really came alive and connected your own kind of thought processes and your own opinions in a way that you were connecting them, but allowing other people space for the penny to drop. That is a huge skill. That is something that can take people years and years worth of facilitation. I know you've been facilitating for a while, but I've seen huge development over the last 12 weeks with regards to your confidence, with regards to your real kind of belief that you're going to stride into this world and you're going to make a real difference in your new kind of freelance role, rather than being under constraints of an organization. You are absolutely an expert within your field. You have the professional expertise, the personal journey and expertise, and you've connected that together in a way that is just inspirational. That's all I can say. It just is inspirational. You have the skills to develop excellent training. You know how to tailor it, and you've nailed the tailoring process. And people, quite often, that's the part that people struggle with, kind of those different layers, but you get those because you've walked that entire walk. It is my absolute pleasure to award you the Training for Influence qualification and to have been part of your journey.
Thank you. So I had thought quite a lot about what I might say today, and then I threw it all in the bin because this morning I was in a bit of an assessment, if you like, an interview for a piece of work that I had applied for, that I'd bidded for. And they had started to ask me questions that I hadn't anticipated. I thought it was all going to be about the subject knowledge, what the content would be, and but it wasn't. It was more about how do you develop a learner journey, and how do you develop a learner journey that is specifically for adults. And I started going on, and I was talking, and as I was talking, what I was hearing was this stuff. And that's what was really brilliant about it. Lots of the things that I've done over the last 12 weeks and that you've introduced at Tay are things that I thought I knew, and they were, but because I hadn't purposefully put them into a really structured and prescriptive process, they were ad hoc. So of course I always wanted to center my values. I thought about doing the different things around engaging, but I didn't have a checklist. I didn't have something that I came back to as a process before I designed and then delivered every piece of training. And that's what's just been so valuable for me taking part in this course. Not least that 12 weeks ago, I was still in work. I was still employed full time. And during the last 12 weeks, I've taken this jump, and doing this course and this course unfolding the way that it has gone alongside me coming into this world of freelance and really genuinely having to put into practice everything that we've been learning, thinking about and talking about together. I have so many accelerated learning toys. You can't see how big this bag is because of my thing. I put them all out I put them all out on the table the other day, and someone said, "Oh, fidget toys." I said, no, they're accelerated learning toys. Thank you very much. So where I might have shyly done these things before, now I'm just out and I'm proud and believe in the power of this methodology, this way of working, designing and delivering training. So I feel quite honoured to have been part of this. It has absolutely come at the right time for me. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to Tay, to Tammy, Becky and Alan specifically. And a little bit more to Tammy, because you have given me the opportunity to come in ahead of this graduation and start thinking about what my role might be within delivering and designing for Tay. And I've really enjoyed that process so far. I've got my first delivery for Tay on Monday, where I shall be taking that workplace that I kind of tried quite badly to put into an hour for the assessment, and I should be delivering it in full. So I'll come back on Mighty Networks and tell you all how it went. And I'm now fiddling with my present toys. So thank you very much.
Fantastic. I'm going to give you a round of applause just for having your fiddle toy there.
I love it.
You accelerated learning toy there, sorry.
Accelerated learning toy. Before I would have just done this a lot, and now I just introduce it at the beginning of the session, and I say, I've got one, so if you want one, they're on the table. There you are.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Safia. Do you know, one of the things there you'd said about kind of lots of the different parts of the methodology you did before, but you did them in an ad hoc way. That's kind of what I say to people all the time. I'm like, it's not rocket science, but it's now a framework, do you know? And if somebody's new to training, actually having a framework to work through to learn those different elements is just really, really powerful. That's what gives you a qualification. But if somebody's been training for years and years, what we've found over the different cohorts is that actually they find it just as valuable because it gives them that framework. I'm so pleased that you could use that in your meeting this morning. Have you heard whether you've been successful or not?
I've been invited to a second round. Yeah. Past the first part and into the second round, and actually the feedback was around the methodology that I was weaving into how I talked about the design of a learner journey. So thank you, Tay.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. But literally that is what it's all about. So I'm hoping that you get that, because I know that you'll be delivering training that does all of this extra stuff, whereas the other person won't be. So yeah, thank you very much, Safia. Now, can anybody guess who's next? Is anybody sitting there slightly nervous? But last but absolutely no means least, I would love to speak about Penny. Penny, you have also been an absolute, you know, I feel like I just repeat it, but it's not because it's not authentic and true for each one of you. It's because it is so authentic and true. Penny, I have learned loads from you on this journey. You know, I learned a bit like Becky said, everybody, I learn from everybody as we go through this journey. But I would say that, you know, I've really learned a lot from you, from your approach to training, from your approach to the world, from your approach to parenting. You know, we've connected a few times from the Ask Me Anything. I've watched your training. We've been through some of the same kind of recent issues, and it has just been so affirming for me as well to get to know you in that way. You have committed to this course, you know, you have put your heart and soul into this course, and you, alongside delivering, juggling your own kind of family like everybody else, you're kind of taking on Ukrainian refugees, your work changing, setting up the charity. You know, we've all had challenges as we've gone through this, and you've been juggling all of these, and you've been smiling and still saying, how can I help? How can I help? Do you know? But one of the key things for me was there was a point when you went, can you help? And that was a huge thing for me to see you do, because you're so good at helping everybody else. And it was so lovely to see you kind of reach out to your mentor and say, actually, I need a bit of time, I need a bit of space, or I need a bit of support in this way. And I saw that as a real kind of element to your growth as you went through. And then the other bit that really aligns with that is when I saw the penny drop for you when we were talking about kind of in sessions and what you as the facilitator need in sessions. And you kind of went a bit like Safia said in her takeaway video, you kind of went, oh, it can be about what I need as well to help me be the best facilitator. It's not all about what the delegates need. And it's that part of this journey that I've been so thrilled to see you personally kind of blossom. You are an absolute star. You support people. You have an abundance of expertise in the area that you want to share. I'm so excited about the Parenting Village and want us to be as involved as you'll allow kind of the community to be, to kind of support, to shape, to give advice within it if you've got different kind of groups, anything like that. As little or as much as you would like the community to be involved, please use it, and use those people in there and collaborate with them. I use the methodology to show how you're standing out from the crowd a little bit like what Safia said, and be really proud of your achievement within all of this, because you've been delivering training for a very long time. Not saying that you're really old, but it's not like you didn't start last week, sorry, just be careful there. But you've been delivering training for a long time, but each week you've told us something new that has kind of resonated with you or affirmed with you. So it's been my pleasure, and I have absolute no concerns whatsoever. It really is a thrill to award you the Training for Influence qualification. Over to you, Penny.
So I've tried to think of what I'm going to say and then throw it all out the window and start again. You're right. I have been training and designing training for some time, and then I design training that I expect other people to deliver, which then has another lens on how you approach things. And I'd kind of made it up from what I'd seen before, or from the best bits of where I've been a delegate in the best bits of training and things like that, and going, oh yeah, I'll take that, or how can I use that and embed that. But I think what doing the Training for Influence course has done is really kind of bring all of that knowledge together into a consistent approach. And I got really cross with myself when I realised just how much work was involved in doing this course. Like towards the end, got really cross with myself with, why did I decide to design something from scratch and not adapt something that I had already? But actually now sitting here today, I feel really proud of designing that session, and I can't wait to deliver it in full. And so I'm now talking to people about where I can do that, and I've been booked to do that at a national conference in September. And I'll do it with my team internally. So Tammy, you've been great and really supportive, and your knowledge and expertise has been brilliant. Becky and Alan, just being at the end, being just so quick and responsive when we reach out, it's just been invaluable. And particularly the technical side of it, because that has been a real learning thing for me, is like getting, you know, embedding videos or getting it to all flow in Slido or whatever. That's been a bit of a challenge. I'm no longer scared of quizzes. Bring on the quiz, I say. Nicola, Bex and Gillian as a support group, a bit like Nicola, I was a bit like, oh no, this is going to be a nightmare. Nicola was amazing at bringing us all together and keeping us focused on track. She just like had this really lovely way of going, how's it going? What are we doing? I'm doing this. Alan says that. And it really helped, I think, corral Gillian, Bex and me to kind of go, oh, we've got to do this then. This is happening. And Gillian and Bex are so nurturing and supportive, and I've learned so much from them as well, in terms of just the way they approach things. And also they're juggling so much, and just the fact that I'm just so proud of everybody, really. And it was really lovely to go to the assessments that I could, and I'm really sad that I wasn't at all of them. So I'm taking a lot away from today, and I know it's just the beginning and not the end. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Penny. Okay, so that is the end of the award ceremony and giving out your certificates. I'm just going to finish by putting on a song now, taking us off live, and then back with you in a couple of moments.